茶言わないでくださいよ。俺にメカが扱えるわけねえじゃねえすか。
姫様、どんどんスピードが上がってます。このままでは別代表の空間に放り出されてしまいます。
急速旋回で回避するわ。チョッピン、ポイント286と386に次元シールド。バッチは魔空石の補充。カウントがいくわ。5、4、3、2、1。
姫様、そのレバーは。
なんなのあれ。
行くぞ、百個。
聖堂の月昇りし200年前、我らガヤン文明は強大なるガッシュの力のため衰退の一途をたどった。魔法より生まれいずる我らガヤンの民はあの栄光を忘れてはいけない。悪空を超え時空を超え、かつての繁栄を再び取り戻さなくては。 休んでるつもり？こんなリゾート地めったに来れないんだから、いっぱい遊んどこうよ。
戦いのないこの南の島、青く広がる海。おめえが福引きに当たったおかげで人間らしいバカンスが楽しめる。キャピコ様々だぜ。
博士今頃悔しがってるわよ。
ついてこられちゃたまんねえからな。
さあ行こうよ、助け。
そうだな、せっかくの南の島楽しまなきゃ損だ。
姫様、座標をどんどんずれ出しています。
もうこの船どうしてこんなに言うこと聞かないの？どうすればいいのよ、もう。
ああ、姫様、そのレバーはアクセルですよ。右下にあるボタンを押してください。
どれよ、これ？バッチ、この船なんとかしなさい。
無茶言わないでくださいよ。俺にメカが扱えるわけねえじゃねえすか。
姫様、どんどんスピードが上がってます。
All right. Good evening, everyone. There we are.
There we are.
Were you just now doing the Sam Lake face?
Yeah. I was I've been playing Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
I've been seeing that place or that face plenty.
Yeah, I'm sure. So my shirt is indicative of an adventure that you and I had on Friday. An adventure that involved surprisingly little baked beans and yet was all about baked beans. Actually, It was all about network accessible storage.
Or I think it might be network attached storage.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Either way, it works.
And this is, by the way, like an extremely comfortable sweatshirt, and it was only like $23, which I feel is a pretty good deal for a sweatshirt that is as comfortable as this is.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a good deal for a sweatshirt, I think. So I gave Try my old NAS.
Oh, Coury is echoing?
It can't be my fault, right?
I mean, I can't think of any reason for that unless it's just that my microphone is turned up too high. Here, let's just see. I'm going to mute myself for a second, and then you talk. You start telling the story of the beans, and we'll see if the echo goes away. Wait.
We're gonna tell the story of the beans. So I gave Try my old Synology NAS, and we met in between like 4 hours for him and 4.5 hours for me. We met in is it Dandridge, Tennessee? Is that where it is? Dandridge, at the Bush's Beans Visitor Center.
I turned my microphone down, so maybe that will let me know if Coury doesn't echo so much now.
Yeah.
And also, I'll flip our names. You keep telling the story. I don't know how our names got like that.
Oh, I don't know how that happened.
Well, you keep talking.
All right.
You tell the story.
But we met at the Bush's Beans, and really it was just kind of funny. It's just kind of funny. So it all goes back. I guess it really starts out with us thinking about there's this meme of this guy Bill Foster. He posted on the Bush's Beans Facebook page that just says I'm thinking about those beans. And it has a semicolon instead of an apostrophe in the I'm, and those is missing the E.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's just funny.
We thought it was so funny. And then when you were here, or when you were driving back, was it when you were driving back from here?
Yeah, when I was there in April, and we had like you had shown me that picture of the guy saying I'm thinking about those beans like before, like a while back. And then like when I was there and we were hanging out with John, it was sort of like I was reminded of it.
Okay.
And so it was fresh on my mind. And then I'm driving back and like almost exactly halfway home, I see, you see, the road signs for, food, gas, attractions. And on attractions was Bush's Best Visitor Center. I'm like, what? What? And so when I got home, I had to look up what it was. I'm like, dude, there's a museum with a can of beans, a giant tunnel that is like a can of beans.
Like the inside,
you can go inside it.
A tunnel of beans that's like could possibly be mistaken for a butthole.
No, it just looked like a can of their beans, a giant can of their beans is what it was. And there was also like a giant bean on like a pedestal.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh my god, I'm like, oh my gosh,
bean.
like if we ever have to meet halfway, like we gotta meet up here. And lo and behold, we wanted to exchange the NAS, because now you have a new one that you're doing a review on, and we're going to, part of that review is going to be about how we use it to share materials for making the show.
Be like most of the video.
And
so, I guess for complete
so now it's going to be in my house. But anyway, we met at the bean place. The museum has been redone. You can no longer walk through the can of beans, but it's actually like really well done. And it was like busy, and there was like a cafe there that we really wanted to eat at, but it was like so popular. Like, let me tell you, Bush's Best Visitor Center and Family Cafe, very popular with the locals, so it must be good. I was actually pretty impressed by the whole experience, even though we went there.
There's a school bus there, like some school took like a field trip there.
I know. Oh, was the dog there? So there was a standee with like where like you could like a cutout of the dog was like inside a truck, and you could like get behind the cutout like you were driving the truck.
Should I share the photo?
You should share the photo. You should share the photo of me driving with the dog.
All right, hang on.
See, Voltar says it honestly sounds like a pretty fun time. And it's not that far from your house, Voltar.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking about as I was driving back home. It's like I'd never seen the commercials myself, and I guess like one of their catchphrases is "Beans make people happy," which is a T-shirt that you bought. Beans make people happy. And I was thinking, we did go there as a joke.
I can double it for my dog too.
Oh yeah.
It makes so much sense, right?
Right. So I was thinking, what? Even though we were kind of going there as a joke, like I think they kind of roll with it. Like they've got bean print pajama pants, bean print wrapping paper.
Well, yeah. Let me tell you. So
a tie that's nothing but repeating
like
can of beans,
thing, right?
Huh?
Like for extended family, we're doing like the white elephant gift giving thing, where it's like everybody gets a present for a certain amount of money, and then puts it under the tree, and people just pick it, right? You draw like cards, and you go, everyone picks a gift. So I got this like gift pack of like canned beans, and I got baked bean, like printed wrapping paper that I wrapped it in. And it's like a joke, and then you open it up, it's like, oh, it's beans. It's like you're telling people what it is. Like, well, what did you expect?
But even though we were going there really to guide it just because we thought it was ridiculous and make fun of it, I don't think it matters how the beans make you happy. I feel like the whole experience made us happy, and now I have a sweatshirt that's very comfortable, and I continue to be happy because of the beans. So you know what? It was a great experience, and now I have a NAS in my house that connects to your NAS, and everything is syncing up and easily accessible for both of us. And it's got like 48 terabytes of hard drives in it.
Oh, it's got more than that.
Oh, geez.
I think you have like 30 terabytes free right now.
Man, I've seen a lot of love for the beans in
my life
chat.
of beans. I'm just waiting for these photos to sync. I don't know why it's taking so long. So I could show everybody these pictures, but it's like it's uploading the movies, the videos. But for some reason, some photos couldn't be uploaded.
Henry Clark says 48 terabytes is rookie numbers. It's like 70 something, isn't it? Maybe.
Yeah, well, and that's with with redundancy.
Okay.
That's like after redundancy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I understand that it's only that much, but it's specifically for our gameplay recordings, and like we don't put like movies and stuff on there. It's just our gameplay recording and our B-roll archive that we can pull things from. So yeah, I mean, we like it has like redundancy for one drive failure.
Which I don't even know. I don't even understand how that would work. Like, okay, one drive fails. How does one drive having redundancy save you when you don't know what drive will fail? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't know, but that is
supposedly what happens.
Yes. Exactly. But yeah, I guess for like complete transparency, like we've used a Synology NAS for like at least like 5 years.
Yeah, and both of us also use Synology routers, so we were already like happy with their products.
The thing is like, so I had this Synology NAS, and we had like I had archived all this stuff on it, and really only stepped up putting all like the gameplay recordings and stuff on there like in the last year. So I had to get like an expansion unit for it and stuff. And it was fine for me because if there's something I need, like I need a shot of something that we've already filmed, then we can just like pull that off of their NAS or off of my NAS, put it on my local drive and just work from it, right?
People want to see you.
And like, but it wasn't really like possible for you to do that stuff because like you could grab stuff. Like the only way to like be the quickest with like larger files is just do it through FTP. And you would download stuff, but you wouldn't even know what you're getting. And there's ways that I tried to make this work, like setting up like a Plex server or something, but it just wasn't as fast as like we needed it to be, right? To be useful for you. So somebody from Synology reached out to us and says, "Oh, you know, are you interested in like doing a video on this kind of stuff?" And I had actually asked like years ago to do something with them, but it just kind of fizzled out. And I said, you know, like I would absolutely love to do something like that because, you know, we work together like remotely, and I could do it as a, you know, just like kind of like a side video to like the setup tour video, to kind of show like, oh, people don't realize that we live 8 hours apart, and you know, we work remotely with each other. And I think that going through our trials and tribulations of being able to do that, and then also doing the setup of getting that NAS to you and making it so that things just like immediately sync back and forth so that both of our NAS are like mirrors of each other.
Yeah.
Is just like,
it makes it a lot easier for me to actually browse and use our archives having the old one in my house, because before I just had to like take a guess, is like, okay, here's a bunch of footage under this category. I just have to like pull it over FTP or whatever. And just like, I don't know if this is going to be what I need or not. Now I can actually view thumbnails on my computer. And
right.
Grab
and
the
you
footage
can just pull it across your network on your system. And like, we don't have 10 gigabyte home network setup. So it's still like, you know, transferring at 100 meg a second, but you know, like that's plenty fast enough to, you know, just pull all the stuff that you need. And you have a ton of B-roll and G-roll, which is what we call our gameplay footage, on your drives there that just didn't make sense to upload it. But now you can just like, you can just drop all that stuff on there and it will sync to me, and then we can sort it. So the archive is going to grow exponentially with all that material, which will be great. I know that we could fix it, but and that's something that will happen in the future. But I just like just the idea of having to like buy all these new parts, like between like the two things that I'm the most afraid of in my home is upgrading the 10 gigabit home network and HDMI 2.1. Those are the things that I want to avoid as much as I can, because it's just, I know that it's going to be a ton of work associated with it.
I should probably get to like playing the game or something.
Yeah. I will share. I'm gotta share that photo. It's just.
Oh yeah. I want to see the people's reaction. What is access on? Does that have something to do with the disc? So anyway, yeah, as you can see here, we are on the Analogue Duo. During the review process, there wasn't really enough time to like properly sit down and play through a game. So I thought, I don't know if there's a difference between these characters. This is a game I've not beaten before. And so I thought, why not play through a CD game on the stream if it's all gonna fall apart in a way that it didn't while we were testing stuff for the stream? Well, it's gonna happen live. And this is an original disc. I saw, I think it was Joshua Helmicke saying something like, oh, I got my copy back in the day before it was $8,000. Surely this game is not $8,000. Because it wasn't even that long ago that I got it. It certainly wasn't crazy expensive. Oh! Oh, wait! Oh, I think that's normal. That's just how this game is. I thought it crashed, but I think it has to pause to load in this mini boss. I remember that before. Do I have
but yes,
abilities?
Luckily, here I have 1 gig up and 1 gig down internet speed, which is nice, but I'm still on a 1 gig home network. But it's fine for what it is right now. It does, I don't need to work off those ones. They're really just for, transferring stuff, backing stuff up, and having it so that it's available to both of us. So, that video is just going to be it's going to be more vloggy, I guess, where it's just kind of a behind-the-scenes thing. And I had intended for that to be released shortly after the tour video, but it's very possible that
it's gonna come first.
On timing, it just might come on its own ahead before the tour video, just because of what the spot that Synology is expecting.
I mean, it's not a sponsorship to be clear, but
yes. It's not a sponsorship, but they did send the device.
They sent it, so you feel obligated to get it out.
But and I feel like it's a good thing to show because I think it's kind of an interesting thing, and we really wanted to set up this situation where you had it in your house and I had it the other one in my house.
Because that's what we've wanted to do for a while, but
it wasn't. Just gave us the opportunity to do that.
Yes.
Anyways, there's a number of donations here I got to catch up on.
Oh, thank you.
There's $4.99 from Scott Snyder. Scott Snyder, if he beats this, he's going to be playing You Suck at Parking.
Yeah,
so he was too afraid of having 2 weeks of jokey Switch games as the headline games.
So I thought I would play a game on the Analogue Duo first, but if this does not take long, then yeah, I'm totally going to play some You Suck at Parking. I played a little bit of it earlier today just to evaluate its streamability, and it does seem streamable. Okay. So that is my second game plan.
But Scott Snyder said, as excited as Tri is about beans, I can't imagine what his reaction to Give Me Toilet Paper would be. He missed the Game of the Year 2023 on last week's stream. I mean, that's giving that game a lot of credit, but it was certainly better than I think a lot of people expected. My favorite thing about that is how somebody asked, said, "Oh, what's that music that's playing before the stream?" In the comments, and I had to respond. I was like, "That's the Give Me Toilet Paper title screen music." Like someone was like really liked the music and was like, "Oh."
You should have put like quotation marks
what are they playing?
around it, like title screen music from "Give Me Toilet Paper."
Yeah. I mean, it's obviously better than what most people thought it was, like what it was.
Now, I was kind of crunching on getting the Analog Duo video done because the embargo was up on Monday, and so I like looked at the very, very beginning of the stream, and then like I jumped in like a couple hours later, and it looked like you were playing something else. Did you just play a bunch of other random stuff after that?
Yeah, I just played like a bunch of random games after that. Suika game, which
oh yeah, I've heard that's ruined
it's
some
not
people's
taking hold of
lives.
me in quite the same way as it did with Dustin. It's fine. I will talk about it for 15 seconds in the year-end video. But I do not play it all that much. It took me a long time to beat that first score that I got for some reason, even when I didn't know how to play.
Yeah. I
Anyways.
think this is the first time I've streamed in almost a month.
Yeah.
Just because of the logistics of getting all these videos done.
Yeah.
Kind of made it difficult because I streamed. What's that? I streamed. I streamed Super Mario RPG. That was the most recent thing on my thumbnails.
Yeah, well, you can start using the thumbnails from the NAS now, probably.
Oh yeah, well I need to start. I need to select folders to sync up on my computers. That's
yes, yeah.
That's another step we need to take.
Yeah, it's fairly easy to do that though.
I don't know how much time I have to dedicate to that until after the year-end video is done though, because I've got a lot to do.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it's not. Yeah.
Well, I've got a lot to do, and I need to manage my hard drive space as it is. So.
Yeah. So then we should just not worry about it right now.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about spending time on.
It's not necessary right now. I only use it to stream like the things that I use in every episode. Mm-hmm. Like the sound, like the sound effects and stuff like that.
Yeah, but there are certain things that I do like. Well, I don't know. Maybe I won't need to sync up a lot of stuff because.
I mean, you could just copy those over.
Right. Like, see, the thing is, like,
time.
I always like. Well, I would like to have like sound effects synced up, but aside from that, yeah.
Anyways, there was $5 from Cade the Squirrel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, hey mates, what's the good word? Lifts up can of Foster's. I was wondering what you like to use your Framemasters for. I was wondering, do you still use your Framemasters for anything, or do you consider that legacy now? I personally still like the Framemasters for how it handles 480i, even versus the 5X.
I can totally understand that.
Yeah, the Framemasters is just up there. I can pull it down and plug it in at any time if I needed it for something specifically.
Yeah.
It is not packed away.
I mean, I have it out.
I still got the box for that.
I mean, I let a friend borrow it recently to play PS1 on.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that was earlier this year when Lynn was playing through Final Fantasy VIII.
Mm-hmm.
But it's back in my possession now. You know what I'm thinking about doing for this video on the new Voltar Super Nintendo mod. I was thinking about like showing, like doing comparisons with like all the major scalers I have, just because like. What else is there to show in the video where it's just like basically working the way it should?
Yeah,
right?
There you go.
So I'm just like, well, here's what kind of upgrade you're going to get if you're using a consumer CRT. Here's what kind of upgrade you're going to get if you're using a PVM. Here's what kind of upgrade you're going to get if you're using a Framemeister, if you're using an OSSC, if you're using a RetroTink 2X, if you're using a RetroTink 5X, if you're using a RetroTink 4K. You know, because like what else is there to do in that video? It just works.
Well, I think that's just kind of a cool idea in general. You know, like something like that could be just like a fun video anyways. But yeah, I mean, it's cool to keep it still up there just in case you need it for anything.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't get rid of it, but I do understand what you mean. You know, for a brief period, we actually, we bought this DVD-O iScan Pro,
right?
Which was, not very expensive. In fact, I feel like what we got might have been like old new stock or something. And it's like, all it is a de-interlacer. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And we were actually using that before the 5X came out to run de-interlaced 480i, just 480i motion adaptive de-interlaced into 480p, run that into the OSSC. Of course, you know, it increased lag, but it was, you know, visually for recordings, you know, much nicer.
Yeah.
That's actually a pretty neat device. And like the style of de-interlacing on like the RetroTink 5X is absolutely meant to be like a speedy motion adaptive de-interlace. So it doesn't, you know, it's not like the FrameMeister de-interlace where it is very much a, you know, it really does try to do a more full proper de-interlace. I like how the RetroTink 5X de-interlacing is, but I can definitely understand not liking it.
Yeah. There's also $2 from Aaron Welsh.
Oh, thank you.
I don't know if I'm going to do a very good job of reading this, but it says, "Oh, Okwa Tengen Wan, my lovely people." I don't know what it means.
Well, I can't see it, so I can't read it myself.
Okwa Tenzenwa, my lovely people. Okay. I don't know. What does it mean?
What does it mean?
Okwa Tenzenwa.
Oh no! Oh no! Was that just? That was just it?
You beat the game?
No, I did not. Oh.
Did you die and there's no continues? You get one life?
Oh, well, it acted like there were no continues, but then there was.
Oh, geez, it's like not even a death animation. It just goes black.
I mean, these games are definitely pretty jank, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But they're interesting.
Which is interesting, because I think the label on there says made by Messiah.
It is, yeah. I mean, all of the Shubibinman games are kind of jank, but definitely interesting, I think. I've only beaten the second one, though. I tried to co-op the first, and it turned out to be a game where it seemed like co-op was to your detriment.
Yeah.
So I decided to play it on my own some other time, but I haven't gotten around to that. I thought this one would be more interesting for tonight's stream, just since it's a CD game.
Yeah. Did the stream die? I'm just making sure, because it's like...
I'm seeing green over on OBS
okay.
there.
It just must be me. It must just be me. There was 1,000 yen from Shindo7. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, hey guys, looking forward to the room tour video. EGM retrospective in 2024. Thanks for everything. Yes, on both accounts. As time has gone on, I was hoping that I would have the room tour out like before, but I'm like focused on getting my portion of the end of the year done, and then we'll see what happens like in that week between Christmas and New Year's. Like I just don't know. Like it's coming up real quick, and just that that stuff is, you know, it is what it is. I'm going to do my best, but probably is not going to happen. Because especially since the kids are going to be home, and it's going to be hard to get a lot of stuff done during that time. And I really wanted to just like kind of relax during that week. And just recharge a little bit. But we will, let's see where we end up. But the tour video, if it's like, it'll probably be the first video in the new year. It'll be either that or the Voltar mod will be the two videos. I mean, we released 3 episodes in less than 2 weeks, which is, you know, is pretty good, I think. Yeah.
I mean, after the year we had, that's definitely pretty good. It did take 2 all-nighters barely a week apart for me to do it, but, you know. And the worst thing about that all-nighter for finishing the duo video is, like, the embargo went up at 11. I was starting to upload around 10:30. I mean, the video was probably going to be a little late anyway. But then my internet went down like a few minutes after I started uploading. It ended up being down for like 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah.
So I ended up going to Drum and Lynn's house to upload there. And my internet was back up by the time it finished uploading, but
yeah, but it's just, you know.
But yeah, that was a crazy day. But you know what was interesting was, and I can understand why, because it's so much more niche, but I don't think it was a huge detriment to us to have released.
No, I think it would like actually like really helped. Honestly,
after embargo, because, well, it makes sense why they would have sent fewer duos out to video reviewers, because like there's just fewer people who can actually use them, right? Or you.
Yeah, or like, I just think that there's less pre-orders for it. There just wasn't that kind of anticipation.
Right. I mean, in general, like, we didn't really expect there to be that much interest in the video because, like, for one, like, this is like the first full-on new core Analogue has released since Mr. became a big deal that isn't a handheld thing. And like I think interest in Analogue stuff that's not in the pocket is fairly low right now. I mean, I think the 3D will definitely have some interest, but I mean, this is a niche system. It seemed like there was maybe not that much hype around it. So, whoa, that's sort of alarming. Man, the way that game over comes up is jarring.
But yeah, I mean, I just don't think that there was like a lot of excitement for it. And
but that said,
that far after the embargo was good. It was good for us because, you know, people have watched these other videos by then. Because when you see all these videos go up at the same time, like right at 10 o'clock, I think that a lot of stuff kind of falls through the cracks or doesn't. It's just like this onslaught where people got to be more choosy.
Right.
Like, but having a video released, you know, a few hours afterwards, it's kind of like, okay, I watch these other ones. Oh, there's another one that's looks like, you know, at 36 minutes, a little bit more in depth than the other, than what I've watched already.
Well, I mean, whoops. I mean, the only, as far as I saw, like, huh?
It has more views than the glasses video and the projector video, and that's
I mean, like, we just didn't know what to expect. I mean, traditionally the Analogue videos do very well, but you know, it's just it feels different this time, right? You know, and so it did a lot better than I expected. And as far as I saw, like the only video reviewers to put out videos was us, GameSack, Metal Jesus, and Jeremy Parrish.
Yeah.
And
Those are the only ones that I saw. There's a lot of articles written, but
right. But like in terms of people who like have what you would need to have to really do a video on it,
yeah,
there's going to be fewer reviewers out there like that, I would say.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I think there's videos coming out now because people who ordered it
they have it.
they're starting to get. Although I noticed when the stream was starting that a lot of people were commenting that that white analog duos seem to be slower to ship for people who ordered.
How weird.
Yeah. I really like the white one. I mean, you know, I was going to comment in the video that I feel like this is the way to go for this one, maybe. Yeah. I was going to comment in the video, but I cut it for time purposes.
Yeah.
Where I was going to say, like, I feel like the color is going to be divisive because it is pretty, like, they have like a very modern looking stark white on the website. It does, to me, the color of, I like how it's very much like.
Well, that's like a recurring problem, I think, with Analogue is like their renders that they show on the website very rarely are what you get.
Yeah,
and that just like kind of happened with the
was it the transparent
pockets.
the transparent Super Nintendo? Oh, I thought that was going to be.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people had a problem with those transparent pockets that came out. That they
oh, okay.
But the thing is like they show them a certain way on the website, but then if you put them next to the system that they're trying to like look like, it looks closer to that system than it would if it looked like it looked on the website.
Yeah, I mean, so again, I like how it looks, but I was going to say, I bet it's going to be divisive, and there were several people like, oh, I would not have ordered the white one if I knew it was going to look like that. But I like it. Like it's like really close to how my PC Engine looks, and I literally don't know if I literally don't know if the PC Engine was ever like more white than the one I have now is. I have two PC Engines and they're like all kind of uniformly the same shade. So
yeah, one thing that I had a lot of fun with is that when I gathered any material, because you edited this episode and I was just like shooting tons of stuff for you. Like I shot a lot of B-roll and just like feeding you material the whole time. And I had a lot of fun doing comparisons like with real hardware because I have a Duo RX that is completely unmodded. And it was just kind of fun to just use that.
I killed that guy and he wasn't even done talking.
So we kind of made the decision of, like next year we should make a point to like really bolster our library of captured footage that's just in composite.
Yeah.
Just using getting composite signal from unmodded systems. And
exactly.
There's at one point I was like, I'm gonna get this thing, RGB modded because I got this RX. I think it was like somebody who was kind of local. And I had the Duo R that I had gotten from Dujin Dance, and then Voltar fixed it up after that. That is RGB modded. And I was thinking this RX I will eventually like get that modded. But now I kind of don't want to, especially since you lose that ability for a composite palette.
Right.
And I guess if I was like really feeling as though I wanted to play my real discs in HD, or like not just like upscaled and have that composite palette, I'll just use the Duo for that.
Speaking of which, we can look. Color palettes. There's RGB. The blue is really oversaturated, I think. And then there's the composite. I think his armor color looks a lot more natural too. I like that shade of blue on the composite palette better.
But I'm definitely going to keep that completely stock, I think, now. Just because I think it's kind of nice to have that ability too.
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of in the process of also hooking up the composite output from my modded interface unit with the Voltar mod.
Mm-hmm. You can just run that into your G-Comp, can't you?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing. And also I'm going to hook up. Wow, I've got this guy stun locked. I'm also going to put a Genesis 2 there as well that will have composite. So and
you could do it with GameCube also if you're using, since you got to use the composite cables for sound.
Yeah, I mean that's a little bit more of a pain, I guess. Well, yeah, I mean. I could do that easily enough, I suppose. And you know, Fenris Wolf Retro actually hooked me up with one of those tiny NESs.
Yeah.
Or tiny NES. I don't know how. I say NES, but like, whenever, jump? Oh, you can wall kick. Seems too advanced for this game. Anyway, I like to call things though by like what the creator of the device calls it. Like Capture says high def NES, so I like to say high def NES for that mod. I'll say the high def NES is the HDMI mod for NES, right? But anyway, I don't know if you call it tiny NES or tiny NES, but at any rate. It's pretty neat, and it's, you know, it is a way I was able to fit it in alongside my modded systems, and my modded Famicom and NES, and that's cool. Like that's a way that I can easily like capture composite NES. Like I agree. I like the idea that we can easily capture any of like the iconic composite video systems. Mm-hmm. You know, I just like the idea of being able to do that easily.
There was a $9.99 from EW Rooney.
Thank you,
Rooney. He's makes me think of Ferris Bueller. Anyways. Saying, hey, Coury, love the save preservation vids, but why no Saturn so far? I've been using two-player port SD. Been using the two-player port SD loader with great results. I can load and extract saves very easily. I didn't even know that there was a two-player port SD loader for that. Man,
there is a reason there hasn't been a Saturn video though, and that's because you considered it more in line with
like an internal save.
Internal save. So you've been intending to do another video that's on internal saves.
Yes, and you know, like I'm gonna resolve to do that in 2024. I think, especially since I have like a big chunk of the script already written. Although things like a lot of things have changed, but it also gives me a chance to cover the MemCard Pro GC and the MemCard Pro 2, which should probably arrive this week. It shipped last week. Hopefully it's I'm really excited about that MemCard Pro 2. But I'll have to look up the 2-player poor SD loader. I never even heard of that. There's also $2 from Demo Kirby.
Thank you.
Thank you. Saying officially joined SMS Club. Scored a $35 junk Sega Master System. I saw your you put pictures of it, and you cleaned it up all nice and tidy. Afterwards, I saw that like in the Discord.
I very much had similar luck. My Master System was just in a pile of sold as is systems, and yeah, it works totally fine. And I think it was like $10 or something. Whoa! This game is so
like,
jank.
Whoa!
But anyway,
that's cool. So, are you gonna buy any games for it? I mean, you probably have the I saw what happened now.
but anyway,
I saw you had like Hang On at least. I assume Hang On and Safari Hunt built in maybe.
Yeah,
or is that? I don't even know if that was like a thing.
The best thing about the one I got is that it still had like that plastic that like plastic stuff that you're like supposed to take off of like glossy parts of electronics. Like it still had that.
Oh, that's cool. Did you take it off? Or
I took it off, and it was all scratched up, but underneath it was like in really good shape.
Listen, what you should have done.
It's done video of it.
It's got a video of it. I mean, that's like, if I have something I got to pull off like that. 9 times out of 10, I'm shooting a video of it. Whether it's not something that even matters. I mean, you could make. I feel like if you just like took a bunch of clips like that, right?
And you have like the microphone placed just so.
Yes, and you make it like you get all the sound and everything, and you just have it. It's just like that, and you made like a 10-minute video, and you call it like, the most satisfying video. Like Bit Roast got it like before, just as I was saying it, the world's most satisfying video.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's like equal parts, like when I get like something used that doesn't have that peeled off, like there's equal parts like anger, incredulity. How do you say that word? Incredulous.
You're
I am incredulous
that nobody would.
That someone would like be okay with just leaving that on their thing.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if you see something, if you see it on something like way after the fact, you're like, oh, I didn't even notice that.
Like, that actually happened with me and my LG C1, like maybe a month ago. I noticed that the entire back panel had a huge, clear peely thing.
I should check mine. I don't
over the
remember ever
whole
taking
back.
mine.
And I had it was all dusty and stuff, and then like underneath, I mean, I'm not looking behind my TV that much,
Yeah.
I had no idea that was behind it.
Have you ever run into a situation where you've gone someplace, to somebody's house or something like that, whether it be a relative or something,
and
they still have like the sticker on the corner that goes like on the corner of a TV that says like all the things that it has?
Oh,
have you ever run into that situation where it's like, it says the resolution? It's just like,
is it like going over the TV, or just like, is it like going
along
over
like the bezel?
Huh?
It's like along the bezel.
Right. But sometimes it like actually covers the screen, and sometimes.
Right. I mean, I've run into situations where it does not cover the screen. It's just like on there still.
Right.
Raheem A says, "I'm that guy. My monitor has that sticker," and I could understand doing it, leave it on there like kind of as a joke, you know. But I mean, I can't imagine being like, this needs to stay on here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I actually kind of regret having taken the one off of my my newer Denon receiver, because it, like, even though it was like brand new, like it left such a sticky residue.
I gotta get some of that goo gone.
Well, I think I did, and it still like didn't. It still just it was never quite what I wanted it to be.
Wow. Well, Henry Clark says that his AV receiver still has that. Like, you guys are incredible.
Wow, this game, man, this game.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I'm glad that you got the Master System demo, Kirby. I don't know if you've answered this or not, but what is going to be the first game that you buy for it? Alex Kidd in Shinobi World, probably.
I wish that wasn't expensive.
Mr. Dot says, "I don't even like stickers on my bananas." As long as they say Chiquita, that's all I care about. What's the old commercial? Like, what are you doing in there? Just getting a Chiquita banana. Nothing, Mom. Just getting a Chiquita banana. Scott Davis says, "It kills me to my core to see mounted TVs at bars or restaurants with yellow power usage stickers still affixed." It kills me to my core. You're like,
kills you.
You're like writhing around on the floor as soon as you see it. Take it off, please. Okay, the SD card loader that goes in the 2-player slot of the Saturn requires some PCB-way solder work and a few apps for Windows.
Can I grind up those things to get it?
That sounds, it sounds like a little scary. Sounds a little scary to me. Yeah, extras of the PCBs, so I'll give you one if you'd like to try. Well, I mean, it sounds a little scary. But I'm
PCBs
not,
for what?
I'm not opposed to the idea. Thank you.
For what?
To do this SD card loader that goes in the 2-player slot of the Saturn.
Why does it sound scary?
Because it requires some PCB-way soldering work, and a few apps for Windows. So it's not just like you plug it in and it works. There's $9.99 from David Fuentes. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I have the briefcase, and I want an RGB solution for it. Voltar discontinued its dedicated chip for it. Do you know of another RGB solution for the briefcase? No.
No, I don't.
I haven't researched that like at all. So I wish that I did. Voltar was here earlier. So probably pointing in the right direction. If he returns.
I wish it were possible to have an RGB mod with the composite palette, but like I don't know if that's even like, I mean, it's possible, but like I wonder how extensive the mod would need to be. Like if it would need to be like almost like a PPU replacement, you know?
Yeah, the old PPU. That's that movie with isn't PPU the movie with what's his face? The guy who was on Entourage and a few other people. No, I'm just kidding.
I have no idea. What
I'm kidding. It's, that's PCU.
Oh.
I was just saying. What's stopping a 200 series for the PC Engine / TurboGrafx 16? Imagine there's no more mods or FPGA consoles coming for it now. There's nothing. There's nothing.
But yeah, I mean, just need to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're going in to this new year like in a good spot. In a good spot. Hopefully, like this NAS will help speed things up as well.
Yes. And I have vowed to get Analog Frontiers Part 4, the final part, done by the time Final Fantasy VII Rebirth comes out.
Yeah. Which would be at least, which will mean it will be out 3 years, like less than 3 years than the last episode.
Don't even talk about it.
But it will be, that'll be the end of it.
That'll be the end of it. And my gosh, I will feel so free.
Cool decision.
I will feel so free.
You want to break free, and you're going to break free. Nana Cheesecake has been a member for 13 months, just over a year. Asking, do I want an Analog Pocket or should I get a DE10 Nano? Both are neck and neck with pros and cons. All I know for sure is happy Sunday / early Xmas. I guess it depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I'm not like the biggest portable gamer myself.
Right, but it is super convenient to have that.
Yeah,
in that form factor.
Yeah, and I have traveled with it. You know, here's the difference for me. I don't really care to play handheld games at home that much, but I like playing them when I'm traveling. But like otherwise, I prefer to play on TV. So, are you the kind of person that plays on handheld screens at home a lot? I mean, if so, then I think an Analog Pocket could be really great.
Yeah. You know, I have like 2 more of those Ambernick things. I should do like a stream where I open them up and try them out. Because they sent me one that's like shaped like a Saturn controller, which is kind of awesome.
Would it be a lot of setup though?
No, I would just do an overhead camera.
Yeah, but I mean, would it be a lot like to get your games on it?
No, they come with SD cards that are like jammed full of games.
Yeah, even though they shouldn't. Yeah, you know what?
Even though they shouldn't, but you know they do.
You know what blows my mind? You know, I have not had, you know, YouTube Premium for all that long, so you know, YouTube.
Oh, did
ads,
you just get it?
Huh? Oh, I mean, it's some point in the past year or so.
Okay.
But you know, because of that, I often saw. Oopsie. I often saw YouTube ads. Yeah. And I know people say, well, why don't you just use AdBlock? I use AdBlock. I don't use it on YouTube, though, because I feel that would be hypocritical of me.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. That's why, you know, like, I just pay for premium. Cause,
yeah. But, I mean it just took me a long time to get around to that point. I finally decided, because I mean, I don't generally watch that much YouTube, but I think what finally did it for me was setting up the old C7 in the dining room, because that's like definitely increased the amount of YouTube I watch, like just watch while eating. So anyway,
I don't even know what I would do without YouTube.
Well, anyway, my point is that what I was going to say was it absolutely blows my mind that they're like not that long ago. I saw these like ads of like just these really cheap ads of this guy who's like, oh, you're going wall. This is going to be one of the most fun ads you're ever going to see because this, this device has, if you love old school video games like I do, it's just like for some cheap emulation device.
Yeah,
it's like
one
it's
of these-
already
one of those
loaded up
hard
with all the
drives
games.
You just plug in and it has the emulators built into it.
Yeah, and it's like loaded up with all the games. It's just like it just clearly it loaded up with games they don't have any right to put on there. It just blows my mind that like they can run YouTube ads for this.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is like that. It's like, who's gonna stop them?
Well,
It would take.
I don't know. Like it. I don't know. It surprises me that no one's going to try to do something about it.
I don't know.
That
probably it would, they're all from like
I'm
these,
not going
like,
to stop them. I mean,
all from these, like,
the quality of their device, I'm sure, is garbage,
randomly
but I'm not
named
going to stop
Chinese
them.
companies that it's probably so convoluted to find out who it like really goes back to.
True.
That it's like intentionally you know the word I'm looking for.
Obfuscated.
Yes. Like it's intentionally done so that you can't track it down, and it just would not be worth the time and effort on the part of anybody. So they just figured, like whatever, we'll just, it's just old stuff that they don't care about anyways. So, but I should do that. I should do a video just opening those up, because I did the Ambernick video and they just
a stream.
They just keep showing up.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. I mean sometimes they I mean. After I did that video, they said, well, we'll send you some more as they come out. And there's like no, like you don't need to do anything with them. And they just keep on showing up.
Mew from Shockman. I mean, this Shockman is Shubibinman 2, so maybe I don't remember any characters from Shubibinman 2 really.
I mean, sometimes they send like 2 or 3 of them, and in that case, like I just like give those extra ones away.
It's like the same thing.
Yeah, just like different colors or something like that. I mean, what can I say? Like it's like if I get one, it's like it has like 3 different colors. Like there's a dude here.
I'm kind of worried.
Like a couple months ago, like cleaning the furnace. And like, if anybody comes down to the basement, they're like, oh,
yeah,
this is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And anyways, he's like down there. I was talking to him a little bit. I'm like, oh, you want this? I just like gave him one of the extra Ambernicks, because like if you're gonna send me 3 of the same one, like I give them to people. Like I gave one to a friend and said, hey, you should you can give this to your kid for their birthday. Like why not, right? Uh-oh, the game crashed?
Yeah, no, nothing's going on. I don't know if that's a duo problem or a disc problem or the game is just that jank.
The Arc is the new one. Yeah, is the one that looks like the Saturn. And I was like, ooh, I'm interested in this one.
I was afraid something like this would happen. I don't know. I just had a feeling.
Can you go into the menu?
Huh? Oh yeah, I can
menu?
access the duo menu.
Okay.
I have no idea if this is a game that saves or not. I'm guessing no. I'm guessing.
Who knows?
I'm guessing. No.
But like the guy was like, "Oh, thanks." It's like there's just so many of them showing up, and I don't get any kind of shipping notification. I just get a box with another one in it. and like I'll just like give them to people because they're just like I'm not doing it. I'm not doing anything with it. Like I will sometimes show it maybe for a split second, but I think that Saturn one I was like, ooh, I like this one. I could do like I like that it's like a wider size, you know. It's like it's bigger. Because I prefer the horizontally shaped kind of stuff than the like the vertically one than the vertical ones.
We'll see if it's saved. I doubt it.
A local fire caused by a furnace cleaner playing video games. But I don't know, like it's like, you know, I'll hang on to one of them, but I don't like I don't need three, you know? So I just, they're just taking up space, and I'd rather just gift them to people, you know what I mean? Instead of.
Yeah, well, I figured what happened.
There was, I mean, going back to Nana Cheesecake, like I think that, I mean, I don't know if the DE10 Nano has come down in price at all. But I guess there's a lot more on the Mister than there is on the Pocket.
I'm gonna play.
It depends.
I'm gonna play B-ball.
Oh yeah.
Whoa! Did Random Access Dreams accidentally make 5 super chats or something? Because I'm seeing 5 stuck at the top. Do you see that? There's like 5.
It's just a $5 one.
I see four of them repeated on my screen for some reason.
No, it's just one here. That's what I'm seeing. There's $5 for Random Access Dreams. Our RAD say my Analog Duos worked well except for when I first loaded up Strider via the actual CD, it turned my console off. See, that is like what happened with ease for me. So were you using the included USB cable? Because that's strangely like a thing. And I had a bit in the script that I ended up removing about like, well, you know, if that cable like makes it function correctly, and like I wonder if there's anything else that does that like limit its is that limiting it in the future of like, you know, being playable easily? Like what if you lose that cable?
Well, there's probably more good cables like it, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely weird. I mean, like I said, we didn't have that. I had a sinking feeling something weird was going to happen playing a CD game on stream. And you know, that was part of the reason I wanted to do that. Just, you know, be like, just put it in a real world test where everyone can see. 'Cause you know, like I did have trouble with like some discs that are pretty scratched. I don't think my Shubibinman 3 disc is scratched. Let me actually take a look at it. But
disc rot.
well, yeah, and I think that, you know, the only rotted disc I have is PC Engine actually. But there's no light shining through this disc. I mean, it's pristine. This disc is pristine. Yeah, there's no rotting on this. But I just like, you know, obviously didn't have time to just like sit down and play through a game, but like, yeah, I had trouble with one disc just wouldn't really get going, but it was in real bad shape. And one was in like, shape, and I played it for a while and then it just like didn't load the next scene. That was what I showed in the video. But like just something about the disk drive, you know, and we said it like, just, I don't know, like something about it just doesn't feel super reassuring, like the way that you have to put the disc all the way in and before it takes, and then, you know, it only ejects it so much. Like something about the mechanisms of it, like, I don't know, it doesn't feel reassuring somehow.
Maybe you need to boil it.
I mean,
wasn't that like a thing where, you know, like, oh, boiling CDs make them like work again?
I haven't heard that one.
There's like, it's like boiling something, or was it like a cartridge PCB or something like that?
Oh, that's the NES connector. Like I'm pretty sure Voltar subscribes to that.
Yeah. You gotta boil the. Have you tried boiling the Duo?
So before the Duo
Put
came,
it through the dishwasher.
I just looked to see what kinds of games were available on this import site I like to use, and I just looked up like what some of the like cheap and common games were, because I mean I have already got a pretty decent Hue cards selection, but I just thought, well, this is just a good excuse to get more Hue cards, especially because since I don't have an EverDrive. I thought it would be good to get a few more games prior to working on the episode. This was one of them. I think it's pretty good. It's like
Cheesecake has heard of boiling a CD with some special beads.
Beads?
But I've only taken mine out to get resurfaced. It's some special beads. You got to get these. You can only get these beads at Bath and Body Works, apparently. They're CD beads, or with beans. Boiling a CD with some special beans. What's funny is like I almost feel as though, you know, beans needs to be like a running thing for us more than it is, you know, the beans. Sure. Because it just makes sense because of Nelly.
Yeah, but beans make people happy, you know.
Yeah.
You know,
like there's some other photos I took. I thought it was hilarious where they're, you know, it's like what is it that I was really laughing. There was a like a doormat.
Yeah.
It goes out front of your door. You clean your shoes on it. It says, and all it says on it says, "In this house, we eat beans." I mean, doesn't that sound just amazing?
It does.
And there's one that's like says, "Share that beautiful bean goodness." And then there's like a big section of the museum. We're back at the Bush's Best Beans Museum talk, by the way. Where it's like talking about the dog, and it shows like stuff from the commercial, and it says in quotes above it says, "Roll that beautiful bean footage."
Mm-hmm.
It's a semicolon. Is it thinking about those beans or thinking? I have it right here.
Did you ever
thinking.
manage to post in the chat the photo of me with the dog in the truck?
Yeah, give him the thumbs up.
Did people think it was good?
Yes,
I
can reshare it though. If anybody wants to see it. And you know, somebody had an exact same reaction as you did, saying, "I didn't know that Richard Ledbetter worked at Bush's Beans." Yeah,
well, I mean, apparently these are like some famous commercials.
Yeah.
I was pretty oblivious to it. Oh boy, oh no! Oh, the gorilla got me. Oh no!
Yeah. I'll share another one with y'all. With y'alls. Anyway, like really quick before I read these two donations. Next Sunday is Christmas Eve, so there won't be a stream next Sunday. And the following Sunday is New Year's Eve. And there probably will not be a stream that night either. Yeah. So this could be our last stream of the year.
It could be.
I thought for a split second, like, oh, well, maybe I'll stream like next, like Wednesday or whatever the 26th is. Because I was thinking like, oh, maybe I'll do or next Tuesday, like another birthday stream. But I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. Because I think that my in-laws are coming down so that my wife and I can go out my birthday, and they're gonna take the kids. So there's a very good chance this will be the last stream of the year.
Indeed.
Just because, you know, it's only going to happen every 6 years or whatever, 7 years. Anyways, there was 2 donations from Chicken and Fish. 2 of them. I'll read them separately.
Oh, thank
There's
you.
a lot of like little emojis in there saying, really want an Analogue SG, but they're out on the website. I'm disappointed, but not surprised that at price are reselling them on eBay. Contra 4 on DS is a good game. I agree.
I agree. Maybe
best game on the system, in my opinion.
Oh, I think so, yeah. What was I gonna say? What were we talking about?
About the Analogue SG. Is the Analogue SG expensive now?
Well, but didn't they say that they're like Super NT and Mega SG, like they did the final round of those?
Oh, did they?
I thought so.
Oh my god, I can probably get that to happen here.
But
chicken.
I could be wrong.
Delicious.
Chicken.
That's good.
Delicious.
Chicken.
Was that coming through to you?
Yeah. Yep.
We haven't heard those in a little while, right?
Yeah.
I'm interested in this.
Oh crap. Oh crap. Oh crap.
Haven't busted out the soundboard in a little
while.
And also Chicken and Fish said, I did get an Allen & Health CQ12T mixer recorder though. It's good quality, convenient features, and cool style for music or singing. Or voice, I don't know. GC port of Resident Evil 2 forever. I like that both of those had messages, like had a lot of several emojis in there. And they're both around about one thing, and then the final sentence just talks about like a good game on a system.
Resident Evil 2 port on GameCube? Is that what it was?
Forever.
Yeah, I mean, that was the first version I owned. It was the only version I owned for a long time. It is a good version. Aside from lack of 480p. I'm curious if there will be another area when I get through 10 levels.
We mentioned it earlier, but there's nothing stopping like a RGB 200 series for PC Engine. We just need to do it. There's nothing stopping it. Random game mentions. Have you guys played Ninja Blade? Was that on just Xbox 360 game? I know I can see the cover in my head.
Not
or I can see the
particularly
logo.
ringing a bell. Oh crap! Oh no!
Oh, it is from interesting. Ninja Blade. It's like, what is the most basic name we can come up with? Ninja Blade. Manada Shiki with $4.99. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's, guys. Thank you for all the streams and great videos. Have a relaxing break and eat lots of cookies. I've been already eating taco. I've been eating some Buckeyes.
Oh, I love Buckeyes.
Yeah, they've been. There's quite a few of them. And we took cookies to all the neighbors today.
Oh.
Made plates of cookies and took them all to the neighbors. That's the kind of people we are in this house. Is like we're the kind of people that will take cookies to the neighbors. But yeah, lots of Buckeyes and some frosted sugar cookies. Yes, Zane's dad. Buckeyes look like they are like Ohio cookies, I guess.
Well, they're not
like
cookies.
rolled peanut butter and then dipped in melted chocolate.
So it looks like a Buckeye.
I can go get one. You want me to go get one and show you what it looks like?
Oh,
I have no problem doing that. I'm gonna do that. I have no problem showing you what it looks like.
They are maybe my favorite holiday treat my mom makes.
They're the best.
I said they are maybe my favorite holiday treat that my mom makes. I was reluctant to, whoa, how did that go around the corner like that? I was reluctant to attack enemies for a while because when I was first playing this game, working on the video, I could have swore I saw the balls start to crack. And so I was like, oh, I guess you can only like do violent things with them so many times, but I think I was just looking at the sprite wrong. All right, is there going to be a new area after level 10? I do not have Batman on the PC Engine. Yeah, this was one of several cheap games that I imported just before doing the video, just because I was like, well, wait, what is the goal here? Am I just breaking? Oh, ooh, 1-ups. I don't know. I kind of like this. It's kind of like a different take on Bomberman. It's a Hudson game, so I got 2-up. Look at that big 2-up. Oh,
I had to grab 2 of them because I didn't trust myself to walk from the kitchen to the basement without trying to eat it. Or to get one that I could eat on the walk.
Yeah.
So this is what it looks like.
And now do you keep them in the
in the freezer?
Yeah, or in the fridge?
Yeah, I mean right now they're like in a little Tupperware because we're just kind of finished today. But they'll go in the freezer. Okay. I like them when they're
like I've always Like you can get you can get them at like Cracker Barrel and stuff, and they're just like sitting out. But like I don't especially love them like room temperature. Like I like the cold crunch on the chocolate. You know, that how it contrasts with the peanut butter in the middle.
Yeah. I like that too.
Man, though, my mom, let me tell you what, a few years ago, she started making another similar thing that might be better than Buckeyes. I guess they're called gingerbread truffles. And it's basically a Buckeye. It's like, you know, the ball of peanut butter. And then it's got, you like dip it and like, it's like white chocolate and like, it's like, I think it's white chocolate. Like ginger cookies, like crushed ginger snaps or something like that. And like, I don't know, some kind of cheese or something, maybe. I forget exactly. Like, I don't know. Look up gingerbread truffles. That's what my mom calls them. So it must be a thing out there on the internet. And it's basically like a Buckeye, but it's dipped in white chocolate and ginger snaps and something else. And it's amazing. And it takes a lot for me to say that something without chocolate, I mean, I guess it's white chocolate, but it takes a lot for me to say that something that's not just regular chocolate is potentially better than something with chocolate. Because I love me some chocolate.
You know, we'll send some Buckeyes to anybody who wants to call in and answer a couple of questions, like mainly what is Try's favorite cheese? Or some kind of.
What's my favorite cheese?
Yeah. What is Try's favorite cheese? I heard it's like a type of Rockford or whatever that is.
I don't know. I like Gouda cheese a lot. I like feta cheese. Feta cheese is really good.
I was hoping that somebody would pick that up of what I was referencing. I was referencing the song "Drinking in L.A." by Brand Van 3000.
Well, I promised I would play "You Suck at Parking."
Yeah, let's
play "You Suck at Parking."
There was. That's obscure to say. It is, but I was just thinking, you know, favorite cheese. And if you listen to that song, if anybody's never listened to the song "Drinking in L.A." by Brand Van 3000, it's incredible. Anyways, there was $5 from Mega X6. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, have you tried the Tekken 8 demo? I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. That just came out yesterday, right? I feel as though I need to, or maybe it was Friday it came out. I'll download that.
I didn't know there was a demo.
Is like the main character like Jin Kazama's daughter or something like that?
I don't know that much about Tekken lore.
Well, it was like a big deal when Jin Kazama was revealed in Tekken 3 as being like Kazuya's son. Like there's a big time skip.
Cool.
Dude, you can drive. You can drive a truck with a giant sombrero in it.
Yes. So have you booted this up yet at all?
No.
So
This is the complete edition.
yeah.
everybody
I mean,
knows, like,
let me
It
go back to
warranted
the
a complete edition.
main menu. I mean, so I'm a little confused. So like, if you hit the Y button, you can customize the car, and like, there's like already a bunch of stuff like available at the beginning. Like, and I really like this RV, and I can put a slice of pizza on the RV. I can't put a slice of pizza on anything else. But I don't.
Yet.
Oh, is that how maybe am I using it now? Because I couldn't figure out. Oh, okay. I couldn't figure out, like, I've got several cars that I can equip, but I couldn't figure out how to like actually switch which one I was playing. So like
Really quick while you're talking about the pizza. So we watched that new Ninja Turtles last night. The Mutant Mayhem.
Yeah.
It's on the Vudu if you want to check it out. It's real good.
I mean, I would expect as much. It looked real good.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely for modern day audiences, I guess. So as long as you go in expecting that, you know, like it's for, you know, like aimed more at like, you know, tweens of today, I think. And I think
that could be a little hard for
really
me to
good.
get into, but we'll see.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about how I think it's basically the first time, like in anything, that they are like portrayed as teenagers, like for real.
Right. Like they never really felt like teenagers in most other
No.
media.
And they are definitely so here. Great soundtrack in it. Like not so much like the licensed music, but the other stuff. The Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross stuff is really, really good.
Yeah, I definitely. There was also a truck with a pug on it. So, like this kind of got this like overworld. I did a couple of levels. So like your goal is to park in all of the parking spaces in the level before time runs out. But if, like, for example, that was and so I park there and it leaves my car there and it spawns a new one. In a couple of levels, like the actual parking spaces are kind of in the way. Like, so like you can actually like bump like your parked car and knock it out of the place, and then you have to re-park in that spot. So in some levels, it seems like the best strategy would be to go to the furthest point.
Is there like a handbrake button? Because you got to be able to like fishtail around the corner, right, and like spin into the parking spot.
I mean, I don't know. The controls aren't super elaborate. I mean, it's mostly gas and park. Oops, that's a dangerous wall. Can I see? Oh, here's it. I like it over here on controls. It lists reverse, but it doesn't let you actually map anything to it. It just says reversing is for the weak.
This isn't free, dude. This is the complete edition. It's got all DLC on cart.
Yeah, I mean, Scott Snyder sent this to both of our PO boxes.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like something you can get on Amazon or if it's like a limited release. Speaking of limited releases,
oh no!
I got like you just see.
I didn't know you could run out of fuel.
my demon throttle, the bro force is finally coming.
Oh, nice.
It's been 2.5 years in the making, and I'm finally gonna be able to play demon throttle.
Oh no! Oh no! Ah! Do suck at parking.
It actually shipped. There's like, you know, it's kind of embarrassing because it seems like a whole bunch of stuff has finally shipped in the last 2 weeks. I got like Play Asia stuff coming that I ordered during the summer. I got 2 boxes coming from Limited Run and full of stuff that I ordered over a year ago.
Oh wow!
And I got this. They got the Mem Card Pro coming, which I ordered. I think it may have been in June or July, and the Play Asia that I ordered in.
Perfect park.
in June or July as well, and of course the thing from not strictly limited, Special Reserve. That is the it's been 2.5 years in the making.
Wow.
It's all happening at once. They knew that they had to.
You know, I feel like, I mean, this is why we always end up busy in December too, because like Analogue is like almost always shipping in December. I feel like a lot of companies like feel this pressure to like, okay, we're promising that this is gonna be out by the end of the year. And then like all these companies end up like shipping these like long promised things in December. You know?
Yeah. That's what happens. But it's just
Archipelago.
It's like I gotta explain like why these packages was coming. I'm like, it's the stuff that I ordered like over a year ago. Some of the stuff is over a year ago. I got paid for the stuff over a year ago. And my daughter was like, so it's like basically free now. Because I've already paid for it, and I've like made that money back.
I mean, that's one way to think of it.
That's 11-year-old math.
That's 11. Well, I mean, my mom always likes to tell this story about how there was this stuffed bunny at another store that I like really wanted. Mm-hmm. It was like this like special like Easter bunny that was like wearing these like pastel colored overalls, and I thought it was like so cool for some reason. And she always likes to tell the story about how I was like, she was like, well, maybe, I don't know. And like we were at another store and we were like, maybe gonna go back to the store that had the bunny. And I told my mom, I said, now don't spend all your money, write a check. Cause it's like I did think that like, I was just like, oh, well, like, you're just like, you're not spending money. You're just like, say, this is this much money. Man, do kids these days like know anything about writing a check?
Oh, I definitely not.
I mean, like, that was like, I was just like, you always like got you got your groceries with a check, it was
yeah.
It was a common thing back then.
Well, I was just thinking about, what was I watching recently? Oh, when we watched my favorite Christmas movie like last week, which is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. When they're like shopping at like towards the start of the movie, like they're going shopping, and it shows like like they're at the department store.
I've never seen it.
And they're doing like the credit cards, and they got to put the credit card on there, and they got to run the thing over it through the like the paper that like the ink paper, whatever it is that you had to like run a thing over it so that you could have like a copy of it. can't think of what it's called. Like that kind of paper. The carbon
carbon
Yes,
copy?
that's it, Kaylee Gamer. Thank you. And about like that kind of thing. Like I hadn't thought about that in such a long time. Yeah, I remember having to use them when I worked at Electronics Boutique.
Wait, did I didn't beat that. Oh, okay. That'll give you a feel for this stuff. Oh wow.
So Henry Clark worked at a gas station. Madonna Sheehy worked at Hot Topic. I was thinking a lot recently. I had a big conversation with my dentist on
a big conversation.
Not a big conversation. I'm just saying, like, this time of year, I feel like this is the time of the year that people that have never like worked in retail, like it's like one of those jobs that people like, if you work retail, like you're immediately more like empathetic to retail workers when you're no longer working in retail. And I feel like it's just like same thing with like being like a food, like a cook or a server. You know, it's like just one of those things that I feel like most people should experience to an extent. Because I mean, I always think about how, you know, like I'm always like, oh no, just take your time. Just take your time.
Well, I mean, I'm like that too, but I'm just like naturally a very patient person. I think people tend to be surprised.
But you know, like I'm just like happy that I like worked in retail and can have that empathy. It's just one of those things I think that a lot of people should experience, I guess, because I think that it would make people just like kinder to each other. So it wasn't really a big conversation. It was just, it was a quick discussion.
I mean, I fully understand that, like, most things that you are annoyed about, like, they have no control.
Yes, exactly. Oh, Chris Waters says I worked at Electronics Boutique when I was a senior in high school. I worked at the PS2 launch. I worked it too, but I was like in my third year of college. It was my first, or maybe it might have been my last year of college. Now I think about it. I don't remember. Like a lot of that stuff gets really blurry. Hardcore saying, Coury, mandatory yearly question. I know you moved, but will there be a John Lennon stream this year or early next year? I mean, he's been here. I'm just like in a different house that's like close to the old place. It's just that he would come and visit with his family during this time of the year, but then COVID threw everything off. So they ended up switching to, they come like around like in spring now instead.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that they'll be coming back in spring, so you can expect the stream then for sure. The last time he was here was 2019, I guess. He was here for the last stream at the old house. Isn't that crazy to think that it's been, is it almost 4 years since I moved? It was
but
2019.
you did. I mean, but you did a stream with him last year or this year.
Oh, I'm saying like he was at the last stream at my old house.
Right,
I'm
right,
saying,
right.
Like, in general, he was.
But he's streamed from your new house several times.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I was just saying, and like he was at the last stream. That was the stream that he did. That was at the old house was the last stream that was like the last time he came at this time of the year.
Right. I am hopefully going to visit John sometime in the coming months. Work on some projects together. Should be pretty fun.
Well, that's have you been there before? Or not to his house, but I mean to Germany.
I've been in Europe one time in high school. That was in 2000. So I went to Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and Liechtenstein. So yeah, that's I've wanted to go back.
There's $2 from Jonathan Hinson. Thank you.
Thank you.
Saying, Merry Christmas, fellas. Did you ever buy any games the day after Christmas with your Christmas money? And you 100%.
Well, because you have a good reason to go to the store on the day after Christmas.
Yeah, being my birthday, and I always talk about how, Christmas Vacation is one of my favorite movies. It's probably my favorite Christmas movie because I so closely associate it with the day after, like my birthday, the day after Christmas in 1989, when we went to the mall in Warren, Pennsylvania, and I had just gotten my Sega Genesis the day before, and I got my Christmas money and my birthday money. I got Thunder Force 2 and Rambo 3. And then we saw National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. So yes, I mean that is definitely.
I mean, I don't typically go anywhere the day after Christmas, so I honestly couldn't tell you. But I do these days. I like to, sometime shortly after Christmas, I like to go to Video Game World and get spend some Christmas some Christmas money there.
Oh, we got Aerial Aces in the chat, and I mean we can't show it, but y'all ain't ready for what Aerial Aces and his team has come up. We're gonna have some merch.
We'll have some merch. I think people are gonna be pretty excited to see the designs. I mean, stuff that we've wanted to do forever, but just really didn't know how to do. And he had a pretty easy time coming up with some cool designs. So
yes. You're not ready for
You're not ready for how real to be real it is.
That's right. Yes, there's
shirts,
some,
stickers, other things probably.
Yep.
I'm somewhat unclear on all of the logistics of it, but
well, yeah, I mean, we're not showing this stuff yet, but it's happening. It's happening finally. People have been asking for it for a long time.
Whoa!
Definitely more stickers.
Oh yeah, some super super cool looking stickers.
I'm interested in this.
Yes, you will be saying that.
What it says on the page. In terms of VHS stuff, so Dustin, who was on stream with me last week, I randomly threw out an idea to him, and he was like, "Dude, this is exactly the kind of thing that I would love to be involved in." So there's some random VHS stuff coming. I don't know. We might need to Maybe we need to make a My Life in Beans
Whoa!
sticker.
MLiG's best.
Yeah. Best. Sharp pixels make people happy.
Oh, yes! Wow.
What?
Just barely. I was like out of time and out of fuel, and I landed barely in the last spot.
Yeah, I can see like MLiG makes people happy, or sharp pixels make people happy.
Sharp pixels make people happy.
But there's stuff coming. I think that people will be really taken by the designs of the early aces and his team have come up with.
Ooh, mastery. I don't think I'm ready for that.
But I mean, that would be awesome to have like shirts with our pets on it, with Nelly and Sandy on it. We'd probably cut that video of her like raising her head up.
You know what's funny? Like a lot of people really liked how Sandy got up. Like you saw that part in the duo video, right? Like, did you catch?
Yeah.
Where she gets up after I throw the DAC over my shoulder, and something that's so funny to me is like that it happens occasionally. Like when people see Sandy from behind in a video, like this happened when I mean she was small, of course, so she was a puppy. But like in that old Kirby Star Allies video, people thought she was. When people see her from behind, sometimes they think she's a cat.
I can see that though, kind
Yeah.
of.
Some people are like, "Oh, the dogs go and eat the DAC." I mean, I did that like totally off the cuff. Like I had no idea I was going to do that until I did it.
Yeah.
And so like I just wasn't even really thinking things through. Like I'm glad she wasn't like right where I threw it. I had no idea she was even there on the couch. Like I had no idea she was there and was in frame and anything until I was editing the footage.
Yeah. Brandon Marks is asking, games we played 2023 when? And it'll be out New Year's Eve, as is tradition.
It's always New Year's Eve. I mean, I think when we originally started it, we were like, well, as long as it releases before the end of the year.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, it's just like one of those things. I see people do it a lot where they maybe get sidetracked and they can't release a video for like games that top 10 games of like a certain year. I'm like, I don't want that to happen.
Yeah, but
it's the only thing we haven't messed
it's
up
always ended up being like so last minute that we actually finish it that we have
and we're trying to avoid that this time.
Right, but we've made, even if we finished early, like we have made New Year's Eve the tradition. It's always New Year's Eve.
Exactly.
Whoa, we got portals now. Wow.
This is kind of neat. It, like someone said earlier that it has what the golf kind of vibes to it. I would not be surprised if it's like the same developer.
Is it the same developer?
I mean, probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
Yeah, that is 100% the vibes it gives me too. That was like actually the first thing I thought of, where it's got like this little overworld that you explore, and yeah, I 100% was thinking that.
Yeah. Should we do a premiere for the video? Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, it's New Year's Eve. People will be free.
Not necessarily, but I mean, still, I think it's fun just to watch it for the first time with people. That's what I like. At least what I felt when with the Retro Tank video. I was like, oh, it's cool to do this, but also like really nerve-wracking to like watch. Like what if there's like something I screwed up, and because there were like when we did that premiere, there was like that little glitch.
Yeah, that was interesting.
At one part, and it was not in the final file or anything like that. It's just during the premiere. And I think
and
it's just
everyone
like,
saw it. It wasn't just like me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really interesting. You know, what's funny is like I can't even remember why people were so against premieres when the feature first launched. Like,
well, it's just like anything different.
Like anything new and different, yeah, people are going to hate. But like, I feel like there were reasons people were siding, and it was like probably some sort of like, Sandy, what are you doing in there? What is it? Is there a bug in there? Oh, Sandy, that's just the lid to a spool of CDRs that fell on the floor. I didn't know it was there. What was that? What was it?
Yeah, the Sandy looks like something that crawled out of a bug's eye.
What?
It's like that's one of those things. It goes back to you know the story about where them cookies at, right?
Yeah. Sure.
Like,
sure.
When I lived in New York, it was just like a kid like yelling across the street. And there's another time where it was like a real old like Brooklyn guy. It was my wife and I were walking down the street, and this guy came out of like a pizza place on Graham Avenue in Williamsburg, and he says, so to his friend, he's like, "Oh, you look like something that crawled out of a bug's eye."
I haven't heard that
still
one.
Like, we still bring it up. You look like something that crawled out of a bug's eye.
I mean, that, like, I imagine that has to be gross, but it's like also so small and minuscule that like I can't even visualize how gross or not gross that would be.
Yeah, I feel like right after that same guy was crossing the street, and I heard him like muttering to himself, saying, 3 things are gonna happen. Either I'm gonna get hit by a car, hit by somebody on a bicycle, or a dog's gonna bite me. That it might not have been the same guy, but just like 2 related things and then something completely unrelated.
I mean, but I can't.
3 things is going to happen. I'm going to get hit by a car. I'm going to get hit by someone on a bicycle, or a dog's going to bite me.
Where's that fourth space?
But the bug's eye thing is still something that comes up a lot. It's just like it's fun to have like running things that we can still joke about.
I mean,
one thing oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say where them cookies at is forever in my head. Arthur, Ghouls and Ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
That's who it is. Saying it. He's doing that full pelt Arthur run, going to get them cookies.
Yeah,
where them cookies at? Look like something crawled out of a bug's eye.
Yeah, you look like something that crawled out of a bug's eye. That's a good insult, I think.
But was he trying to be insulting?
Totally, it's gotta be, right? But that's just like one of those things, You look like something that
Whoa.
maybe that's like what needs to be. Like we could do like merch with something that says "Where them cookies at." Although it's just what's Arthur is saying on PSN.
Yeah. I mean, if your PSN avatar were a prominent part of the show,
Yes.
then I guess
Where them cookies at?
you know, but I really liked this screen grab that I saw someone take of the Retrode 4K video of my Xbox dashboard. It has like my like silly looking avatar wearing, you know, overalls and a monocle, as I do.
Yeah.
And just next to it says, "You have $0." I feel like I want this to become a, you know, a reusable image of some kind. Yeah, $0.
There's another $2 from Jonathan Hinson. Thank you. Asking, ever beat any games over Christmas vacation?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I mean, I love talking about beating Lunar, the Silver Star, over Christmas vacation. And I would only allow myself to play it at night because I didn't want it to end. Because I like it so much. But yeah, lots of games. I'll tell you what I definitely beat over Christmas vacation: Altered Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beat that Christmas Day.
I mean, I'm sure I beat. I'm sure I. Whoa, oh no! I would push myself out of my parking spot. I'm sure I beat like Super Mario World and Donkey Kong Country, but it was probably still technically Christmas break.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa! Whoa! Some big punching.
And mine and everything.
I shouldn't have parked that one car there first. That's gonna be a problem.
It was always sad though, like beating a game that you got on Christmas, like on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Like Alex Kidd the Lost Stars. But beat that on Christmas Day. I mean, it was just like a disappointing game in general.
Whoa! Oh wait, I didn't want to be punched by these things. This is how I wanted to get there. Yes.
Ooh, Cloud FS7 played Eternal Blue. You played through it for the first time last week. You played the whole game in a week? If so, that's real impressive. If it was the Sega CD one, that was just like a real tough game.
I'm hoping that the dungeon crawling is better, and I mean I'm playing the PS1 versions of Lunar. I'm hoping the dungeon crawling is more exciting or something, or
it's similar,
less annoying.
But
I don't know how to put it. Yeah, I've been struggling with Lunar. I mean, I've been back at Lunar 1 for the past week or so, and like I'm definitely going like I'm you know, between working on the games we played and everything, I'm definitely going to like prioritize beating it, because I probably got like at most 10 more hours based on how long I believe it should take. But yeah, the dungeon crawling is just like real boring. it's like both boring and annoying. It's
Mhm.
like there's just like a lot of like annoying gimmicks with some of the enemies in the dungeons or things like that, and like it's also really annoying that Alex has like barely any MP. But I mean, I like everything else that surrounds the games generally, but or the game, because I haven't gotten to Eternal Blue yet. But the dungeon, I went to bed early last night because that's how sleepy it made it made me doing some of the dungeons.
Yeah, I mean, like I don't mind the remake, but I've only played through it once, so I think that says a lot when I played through the Sega CD game multiple times over the years. I do feel the original is probably more approachable. Like the thing, like your character moves really, really fast in the original.
I mean, I feel like
nice.
he moves pretty fast in the remake. Did they have visible encounters in the?
No.
See, I kind of feel like I might prefer the random encounters. Like I don't like the visible like they're just like these they're gray. I don't know why they're gray. It's just kind of weird.
I feel like it would be real interesting to see for you to play the original.
Yeah, I mean, I never got it because obviously it's more expensive, and like Sega CD is just to me kind of a pain in the butt. I don't enjoy using Sega CD.
Yeah, I just think it would be real interesting to see, because people tend to like the one that they play first the most.
Yeah.
But now I'm starting to think like you might like the original even more after having played this one. Like,
maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, and it's just I feel like it's just more concise. And yes, it doesn't have a lot of characters and this and that. And I was saying to you that I think that a lot of the stuff that was added in the remake of Silver Star was added to like explain things that come up in the second one.
Well, when you say it doesn't have a lot of characters, like are some of the characters who joined the party in the PS1 game
no.
not in the Sega CD version?
Well, no, I was saying like the people from the Vile Tribe, except for Zenobia.
Okay. Yeah, you're talking about like Royce
and
Fascia.
Yeah. I mean, have you gotten to the whole part with who are the two characters that are on like the frontier?
I haven't gotten to the frontier, but there some characters were talking about like I'm drawing a blank. There were two names that were mentioned, so that might be what you're talking about.
Has Lake been in your party at all yet?
Very briefly at the beginning, and he's been appearing more and more recently.
Yeah.
But I still don't know what his deal is. But it's pretty obvious he's significant.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got busted.
Oh, it's like the people on the frontier is like Tempest and something. I can't remember the other one. Tempest and but they one of them joins your party for like a minute. But that's the only time that because I think that two characters get sick and they have a character, or one character gets sick and they swap.
Is it possible to wait for that light to change? Maybe the lights are always on.
It's kind of amazing how much I remember of that game, even though like I haven't played through it completely. And
I mean, that's what happens with your childhood RPGs, right?
Yeah. Game Arts. Studio Alex. Game Arts. And you were saying that you heard you think you saw a Alicia Dragoon.
Yeah, when I was talking to the Blue Dragon, there was a reference to Dragon Master, like Alicia and like Letitia or something like that. There was like two names, and then Nall was like, "Hey, Alex, that's the name of two ancient Dragon Masters." I'm like, that is totally an Alicia Dragon. Like, Working Designs translated the spelling of the name a little differently, but like it was totally an Alicia Dragoon reference.
Yeah, because that's a Game Arts game. So like that's a fun little Easter egg for Sega fans, I guess, from that time.
Yeah.
But I would be curious to see what you end up thinking of the original. Like I think it would be nice.
I mean, it would.
The chances of you actually playing are small, but I would be real curious.
Yeah, I mean, I've booted it up on like Mister before, but like really only with the intent to capture footage. So it's not like I like played.
Well, when you finish, like even if you just like booted up on the Mister and like just played it for a little while.
Yeah, if I just played like
just play until you get to Maribia, because it's real quick. Just play until like you get to Maribia.
Yeah,
it's pretty quick. You could easily do that.
Whoa!
It's true. It's like it's not so much about parking anymore. It's like,
well, I mean, yeah, they have to ramp things up.
Oh, are you almost to the end, you think?
Of the game?
Yeah, is it? Or I mean, I assume the complete edition has probably hundreds of levels, like 100 levels or something stupid.
I mean, I have no idea what makes you think I'm near the end.
Oh, I don't know. I thought you were saying they got to wrap things up.
Well, I said they got ramp things up.
Oh, okay.
I have no idea how many levels there are.
Ariel Ace is making a custom set of MLiG profile banners for the Retrode 4K for you guys. You can put those on the the profiles that our general profiles that you made.
Yeah, I started the other day actually. I made kind of like a starting set. I wanted to ask some people like for some feedback because like I would want to like kind of do certain things consistently between profiles, but I've been using them while playing Lunar, like switching back and forth between a few of the profiles, sort of like get my feelings on them, and then I'd like to get some feedback, and then I'll make a bunch more profiles. But yeah, that would be a cool thing to have. Yeah, I actually did use a custom banner, with like just like I think it was just like the photo from the banner on our YouTube page.
Yeah,
I was using that for a little while. Whoa. Oh, come on. Yeah, I was using that for a while, but then I just ended up having the generic Retrode text. You might see it a few times in the video, though. for something down here? Who's got it? Oh, damn.
How do you make the... I don't know exactly how to make the custom banner. Like, you had done it, but I didn't.
Yeah, you have to, like, it's got to be like a bitmap image made in a very specific way. It was kind of confusing. I don't know if the options expanded later or not for how you could do it. But I know Firebrand went nuts with it for all of his profiles.
Yeah.
I don't think Mike even knew that. I could be wrong, but I don't think he knew that banners were part of the like. He just hadn't even considered that, like, oh, like people could have like their their logos or something on like their custom profiles.
It was like an accident that they just happened.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were a lot of accidents where he was just like, oh, I didn't even know it would work that way.
Yeah. Mike was on a stream with Artemio.
Oh yeah,
earlier,
yeah.
Like right before, and it's just cool, like trying out like different arcade PCBs, and the Sharp X68000. It's just cool, like listening to two like incredibly smart people talking about it. And that support needs to be 24-bit bitmap.
Yeah. I had a hard time figuring out how to do it, but I did get it.
Plays and Paint says, this game's music is rather hypnotic, much like the I Need Toilet Paper music.
I mean, it is, I mean, it's like, it could definitely be intense, but it's definitely got good chill out vibes to the game in general.
Yeah. Like a big punching glove.
Yeah, so you haven't booted this at all.
No.
It's a pretty good game to chill out to.
Did it need a patch, or was it indeed?
I think it need.
Complete.
I think it did have a patch.
So it's not really a complete edition. I mean, it is.
Sadly, perhaps not.
I didn't realize that Devil Engine DLC had come out.
Oh yeah.
For the when the complete edition came out.
Whoa.
That includes the DLC, but I didn't even realize that DLC ended up coming out. Like they obviously like worked out or figured out how to like pull that away from like Dangan games or whatever.
Whoa! This like very much feels like a game that Dave would have played on his stream at some point, or should play on his stream at some point. This is very much a Dave game, I think.
Replicant, we haven't recorded one yet. I'm gonna see if we can record one in like the next like day or two. I have we usually record on Tuesdays. And I have my son's Christmas concert this Tuesday, so we'll have to figure it out. But no, there won't be one at the normal time tomorrow. Like we've really slacked off, just because there's just been too much stuff going on. I talked about it at the beginning of the last episode. It's just been hard to keep it going. But I'll try to get one so we can release one before Christmas. But the problem is like it's the 50th episode, so we want it to be, I think, maybe
you don't want to do it halfway.
I don't want to phone it in.
Yeah. I was listening to the the two most recent ones
On the drive.
On the drive Friday, yeah. It's like super weird, kind of, that like I'm driving to meet you. Listening to your podcast on the. It's like the only time I listen to the podcast because I don't really listen to podcasts usually.
Yeah, I had a lot of catch up on too. I had multiple episodes of probably my favorite podcast right now is 60 songs that explain the 90s. Just a great podcast. Especially if you're for people in the chat that grew up in the 90s, like it is such a good podcast to listen to. And it started out as 60 songs, but now he's like going 120. He's done like 110 of them so far.
Dang. That's tough.
Just really, really good.
That reminds me that I need to make that post on the Duo video so Bob can talk about it on the podcast. Oh, no!
There was $5 from Bubba D. Matt. 812.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope that kidney sickness passed.
And Bubba D. Matt mentioned this last week, but Bubba D. Matt's first name is actually Dustin.
Okay.
It came up in the stream last week. But there's a petition going around. They have LGR on Hot Ones.
Oh.
And it's still going. I should probably sign that.
Is LGR aware of this petition?
Oh, I'm sure that. I would be really.
Is he amicable to the outcome of this petition?
I'm sure. Paul Blickman, they have had Oasis on it. They did Wonderwall. Most of the time it's like their popular songs, but sometimes it's like, or most of the times it's like popular songs by certain bands, but sometimes it's not. But it's a very, very good podcast. He is like he's very, I want to say he's almost Tim Rogers-esque about music. Where he has like a real photographic memory and can just like talk about like hearing certain songs in certain places. And I can link it here for everyone. They just came out with a book, I guess.
Man, this level's tough.
This is it right here. How could here's my question for you, not be your favorite podcast? I don't know. I don't listen to it.
Man, I'll get any of the. Oh wait, there's one. No.
You cannot play a music CD on the Duo.
Yeah, I was actually like really shocked.
Here. Yeah, it's disappointing.
I was, when you were like, well, probably useless to most people, but I don't know. I think it'd be fun. I was thinking about recording me like nearly on the verge of tears, but I didn't. Because I was actually both shocked and very sad.
I just think it'd be a cool thing to do.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Licensing issues, like you have to have like you have to license the ability to play CD. Maybe that's why.
PS5 doesn't have it.
Yeah, and PS4 didn't either, did it?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Tough level.
You know, I see BitRoast saying, imagine FPGA visuals. And it's like, I would totally buy a CD player that just had visualizers. They had a ton of visualizers on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I want. Is I want like something newer than a PS3 because I don't. At this point, I used to use my PS3 for that kind of stuff a lot, but like at this point, I don't like putting miles on my PS3 that isn't playing PS3 software.
Yeah, well, that's why I ended up getting like a regular CD player. Like I got that mini disc CD player.
So
you might need to do the same.
Well, but the thing is, I want a CD player with cool visualizers over HDMI output, like the PS3 has, and oh man, yeah, I don't know.
Well, you were thinking about at one point like doing a video on it, but I actually like made a bunch of them. Were like the CHD files.
Yeah. Well, I was
like,
actually trying to show about the other. I still want to do that video.
Yeah. I'm just gonna talk about it anyways.
Yeah. I was talking to show about it just the other day. Yeah.
Like make a CHD file, which is like what the Mister is like the compressed CD format that it uses. But you can load those CHD files into the Sega CD interface or whatever.
Yeah.
And play them. And you could actually combine CHD files, I think, and like make normal like multiple CDs that will show up as that you can combine them together and make like a big.
I mean, it's kind of complicated, the process. I figured out how to do it, but yeah.
Like that'd be cool. You could put like the entire like multi soundtrack CD like on the one disc and play it using the Sega CD interface on the Mister.
Yeah. I found in the testing that I did, I found the PC Engine or Turbo Duo core to have maybe the most reliable interface for that.
I wonder if somebody could just develop a Mister core that would play CHD files with a bunch of visualizers in it.
I mean, I've been asking for that for a while. I mean, not really asking the right people, I guess, but
yeah.
I mean, that's something I've said. Like, I want this. Like, I feel like the Mister could be such a useful multimedia device because, most. I don't know how high of a resolution of video could play. Probably not super high, but the fact of the matter is, most media players suck.
Right.
And they always even the good ones, usually have like on a computer just like bad frame pacing and stuff like that. Like I would just really like a consistent hardware driven media player interface. I would like that.
Yeah. And if it just used like the like ISOs or CHD files, like that would be fine.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool. I wonder if
wouldn't it be great to have like a CD player with awesome visualizers and a DVD player that you could play like ripped discs. Like I think that would be amazing. I don't know why you couldn't do it. I also don't know why you could because I don't know how to make it work. but still.
Kaylee Gamer, you can play them in the Saturn's Mister interface, or you can play them in the Sega CD interface, or in the PS1 interface if you wanted to. We're just talking about it would be cool to have like a dedicated CD interface
With like visualizers.
with like a ton of different visualizers options, just like as its own thing. I think that'd be really neat.
I suspect this Antarctica level is like part of the DLC or updates or whatever. But maybe not. Maybe this is part of the base game. I don't know. I think there's like,
Yeah, Mr. does have a potential as a media player. Like, I wonder if he could play like reasonable like bitrate FMVs or something, or video files.
there's like penguin cries in this music.
Are they icy penguigos, you think?
Almost certainly.
There was $5 from Mike Sherry. Thank you. Saying, so the powerhouse levels really pack a punch so far. Are these the powerhouse levels?
That I'm playing in this?
Yeah.
I don't
know if the powerhouse levels really pack a punch so far.
I don't know. Are we talking about my game or some other game?
I mean, who knows?
Yeah, I don't know if that's what these levels are called or not.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom.
Okay.
Drink too much water.
There we go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can definitely play them in all sorts of ways. Oh, $5 from Container 7 just saying thanks for streaming. Thank you. Go and get more Buckeyes. I mean, Coury has a bathroom in the basement, so he doesn't have to go all the way to where the Buckeyes are, but it might not stop him. My mom made chocolate chip cookies the other day. Sent me home with some. She hasn't made them in a while. I'm sure everyone thinks this, but it is true that my mom makes the best chocolate chip cookies. She puts almond extract in them, and it kind of gives them this like cherry flavor. And it's amazing. Well, that's actually a relatively recent modification to her. Always the best chocolate chip cookies. Oh, whoa! A $10 super chat from Elk Plays and Paints. Thank you. And your media player talk remind me of something. You ever tried running music CDs in a game emulator? I used to listen to my CDs in a Saturn emulator long ago before getting a Saturn, and it did work. I mean, yeah, I don't know why that wouldn't work. I mean, the Saturn interface is kind of cool. I mean, I like the aesthetics of like all of those old emulators. And that's, I mean, that is, I think, like, I like the idea of like using like ripped discs on these devices, because you know you're in theory getting that original CD quality sound. Yes, I know it's taking up more space than like, you know, FLAC or something, I guess, but I like the idea that you are using the CD and not putting miles on any sort of, you know, CD laser.
Yeah. There was $5 from Container 7.
Yeah, I read
Yeah,
I read Container 7 and Elk plays and paints already.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you have any comments on the question posed by Elk though.
Ever tried running music CDs in a game emulator? Just listen to my CDs in the Saturn emulator line. Nope, I never have.
I don't think I have either, but I mean, it totally makes sense to me that it would work, because I assume like all that functionality is part of the BIOS, which would of course be required for the system to run, the emulator to run.
Yeah. We had mentioned, like when we were talking to John earlier in the week, about like your big bit about like the different ways to play games. You're like,
oh yeah,
your
my little
your
rant in the
speech.
Duo video.
Yeah. What's really funny is like there's another comment. I think it was on a different video, but I wonder if they had watched this and then watched another one where it says, "Bro can't stop monologuing."
But you know what? You know what? There, I think, are surprisingly few like just get a mister, or I don't understand the purpose of this. RetroArch exists. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, surprisingly
there's been-
few comments like that on the Duo video, and I feel like that could have headed them off.
Probably.
I don't hate Ambernick ROMs. I have nothing against ROMs or ISOs. I'm just expressing surprise that a company legally selling things is getting away with sending it. That's,
Yeah.
I'm expressing surprise,
for
not
giving it away,
disapproval.
yeah.
Surprise,
Their
not
paid
disapproval.
Product.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's nothing legal about what they're doing. Like that, the whole thing, like including those games on there are definitely like not legal. But it's very clear that they don't care at all. And they I feel as though they've gone through like a lot of checks to make sure that they don't get in trouble for it, or that it's annoying for anybody to come after them too hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, the SD card is free with the purchase.
I hope I don't run into the thing around here.
The thing?
The thing. Well, I mean, I'm in Antarctica.
Oh.
Or Antarcticar, as they call it. Whoa. What is that
Getting
thing?
that XP.
Yep.
Even you suck at parking has XP and level ups.
Yeah, right. I mean, you know, there was a little conversation in the MLiG Discord that I jumped into the other day. Oh, oh, I can still steer it a bit. It was a perfect park. There was a conversation the other day. I think it was Golden Kane, who he said that he also, you know, he took our lead and did pledge games as well, and he was really surprised that one of the ones that he thought would just be, you know, a total like for sure. Surefire, like I'm gonna love this, and he ended up not, was The Secret of Mana. And I said I can totally understand, because it really took me a while to really kind of get my feelings together on Secret of Mana. Like, in fact, like Like I got all the way to the end, and without finishing it originally, and then years later, I beat it with a friend, and thought like, it was okay. Like I had a lot of false starts with it. Like, and I wouldn't say I did really like it, but it always felt a little overrated to me. Like I felt like I didn't love it as much as everyone else seemed to, right? Mm-hmm. And dang it. And so anyway, I'd say I finally like came around not just to the game, but also the music. When I replayed with Drum and Lynn for that charity marathon, that was like when the game finally clicked with me, and the music. Like I never really liked the music that much.
Oh, see the music outside of like the
dwarf village.
Gaia's Navel music track. Like I like the music is the most memorable thing to me.
See, I used to not like it, but but I guess my point is it took me a long time to really come around on the game. But the thing that he was like saying, like, it's just like, wow, the game, it's just like, it's just, he just didn't like that much. Yeah, I would say, hey, I can understand, but also I think the thing to remember about why it's so beloved is because like action RPGs were still like novel back then. Like that was like Secret of Mana was like pretty much like the #1 example of like action RPGs. Like that was like the game that I think a lot of people thought of, and like there weren't a lot of alternatives to it at the time. Like,
Yeah, man, I like really want to replay Secret of Evermore.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've not played through it at all.
Oh, you should put that on your list.
I thought about it.
That would be a good one to put on your list.
I want to avoid. I know it's probably not that long, but I want to avoid RPGs for the most part on my list.
Well, yeah, I mean, both of us are going to be going into this new year with some baggage.
Yes.
Like you're gonna.
In fact, I think I kind of honed in my list earlier today. I mean, it might still change, but I did whittle it down to 10. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's just, but you remember how that, like, I just remember there were a lot of people who were like, oh man, like action RPGs, so good, but there just like weren't a lot of them. And like every single one that came out was like gold. And Secret of Mana was just always, for the longest time, like held up as like one of the best examples of action RPGs. And now every video game is an action RPG.
Right.
But like, it's just, I think people today, like, it's so easy to forget that, or younger people, they just didn't know that. Like, experience points were a strange concept to most gamers. Most console gamers, at least.
Yeah. That's surprising though about the music that you didn't really care like a ton about. Because I feel like Into the Thick of It is one of the defining music tracks on the system.
It took me a long time, but I finally warmed up to it. I always have loved the Legend of Mana soundtrack. That's Yoko Shimomura. But I also really like now like the I don't remember the Trials of Mana soundtrack that much, but I like the Dawn of Mana soundtrack a lot. I thought Dawn of Mana was actually a pretty interesting game. It's definitely, I think, a bit underrated and still pretty cheap. I think it may have gone up a little bit in the past few years, but it's probably still like a $20 game, I would say. I mean, it's weird. You have to know what you're in for going into it. I think whatever year it was that I played that, I think I did a pretty good explainer. Or did I end up cutting it? Oh, shoot, I may have ended up cutting it out because I don't think I had time. I had a good explainer on the game written up though, but I think I actually ended up cutting it. I just didn't have the footage captured, and I ran out of time.
Yeah. So I'm looking at your 10 game pledge for the year. Like
I mean, mostly shorter games. There's one longer. There's one longer game, but it's a game that I feel like I really need to prioritize because I feel like it's the fact that I haven't finished it is holding me back from playing another game. And also, I started it before, and feel bad that I didn't finish it. But I won't spoil what it is. There's actually another game or two on there that is something that I started previously, but never finished.
Mm-hmm. Did you look at what I have kind of for mine in place?
No, I didn't see that.
It's at the very, very bottom of the document.
Okay.
I only have 7 picked, and I don't even know if, like, 2 of them are from, it's like a game and its sequel.
Well, see, that's what I did with Lunar, which I feel like was a good idea in theory, but it didn't pan out. Because I still think back a lot to how much I enjoyed Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and how I feel like part of that was I played it back to back with Rise, and I think it was, for one, it was so much better than Rise in my opinion, especially aesthetically. Like Rise is just such a gray looking game. But also like the fact that I went into it already like, the fact that I started the game already fresh on the controls, right?
Yeah.
That gave me a head start getting into the game, and I feel like that. So I like the idea now, as long as they aren't super long games of playing a series kind of in sequence. I'm curious what your game and its sequel is.
I mean, I don't know if it's what I'm gonna do for sure. Should I just tell you? I don't think it matters if I tell. Does anybody care?
Just spoil 2 of your games.
Yeah,
it's fine to spoil.
I don't even know if it's what I'm gonna do for sure.
It might not even be there. Yeah.
It's Psychonauts and Psychonauts 2.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's good. It's a good pick. I mean, those are games I could pick for myself, but I did not put on my list. I have no idea, honestly, what I'm going to think of those, because I originally back in the day I did briefly own the PS2 version, which I know is considered not good. I didn't really like it. But then over the years, I mean, there's just so much love for those games.
Yeah.
That I feel like I gotta give them a chance. I think, and I still don't know if this is really going to work for me or not. But I think the thing that kind of held me back on them was they weren't platformers in the sense that I really expected. They weren't. I say they. It was the first one, so it was only the first one. But it was not what I was expecting from a platform. It was more of a guided, story-driven sort of game, and so it wasn't really what I was expecting from a platformer. And so that I think kind of threw me off and made me not too eager to continue it at the time.
Well, I mean, either way, it's like
But
we're gonna be going into this new year like already in the hole, and you know, I'm gonna talk about this in the video a little bit, but there's just like so much like must play good stuff that came out this year that it was I feel like it'd be difficult for anybody to like really finish their list off without getting sidetracked into like just the amount of
well, I
good
mean,
stuff
especially with
that came out.
Zelda. I mean, that's just such a time sink.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of games that came out that I would have liked to have played that could have also been time sinks. But, you know. I have no idea what my time sink game next year could be. I mean, I was thinking about lately, like when the, you know, the physical Baldur's Gate 3 releases, like I would kind of be into like starting that right away, you know? I think that'd be a...
Have you played, did you play 1 and 2?
No, but I mean, those are... I mean, Drum and I are still working on Dark Alliance 2, but that's totally different.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have like the like current gen ports of those. But like I feel like I always felt like it was going to be like a big gamble whether I'm like even going to be able to tolerate like that era of BioWare game.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. I booted up one of those. Like I've got like the Switch versions of, you know, it's like Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, Neverwinter Nights, and Icewind Dale. And I boot up one. I mean, they're ugly games. they're very PC in their presentation.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just really have no idea if that style of game is going to be something I can get into or not. Yeah, that's a big question mark for me. But I feel like Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to be like a lot more approachable for me. So like I'm not worried about playing, you know, the originals first necessarily.
Mm-hmm. Like I'll definitely get the physical copy of that, but I have like no, I feel no urge in which to like to play it.
Well, I mean, you've still never. I mean, The Witcher 3 was supposed to be your intro to Western RPGs, right?
In a way, yeah. I mean, outside of like Mass Effect and stuff.
Right. Western fantasy RPGs, I guess.
Yeah.
Although really,
I
I don't even know
RPG.
enough
It's
about
like
like the combat of it to like say like does it feel like, I mean, I think it's kind of action RPG. So I don't you know, I mean I think Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be closer to something like Dragon Age Origins in terms of how it plays, although I think even more like I think it's like literally turn-based and roll the dice type of thing. Which I don't think I've played anything as far as Western RPGs go that's quite that turn-based, which intrigues me. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it's definitely like a little bit of an outside my comfort zone game for sure.
Right.
I mean, I like the Dragon Age games, but I'm not like the biggest fan either or anything. But I do like them. Yeah, I mean, it's something that I am intrigued by. You know, I like the idea of like just like diving into it when that physical edition comes. I like the idea.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so I'm sure there will be some things that come along that you know, distract me. We know so little about what Nintendo's going to be doing in the new year.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, we'll see. I know that both of us are not going to finish our list, obviously, at this point.
Well, yeah.
But we're carrying it over, and
so
whether or not I'm going to say, hey, I gotta beat these before I can take on the new list. Like I'm not gonna do that.
Oh no, because the new list is going to be mostly shorter games, and the new list is, or the old list, the carryover games are going to not all, but mostly longer games. So it's going to depend on what I'm feeling ready to tackle, right? I think early on I will want to tackle some of those shorter ones.
Right. I mean, I got some fun stuff I'm excited about on mine. But like I said, I'm not gonna say, oh, I gotta play the other ones first. It's more like I'd rather just pick from that pool of games. Like, what do I feel like playing? You know?
Exactly.
Yeah, and Like a Dragon's out, you know, and I don't even know. Like, it sucks because...
Is it out, the new one?
No, but it's going to be out, like, in February or something like that.
I mean, it looks so good.
It's supposed to be
so
long that if you, like... What has he said? If you play it in one sitting or something, you will get sick. What did he say? I forgot. Like, it's so big that apparently if you, like, play it too much, you will get sick.
You will die.
I've beaten Starflight in the past. It is a great game. But we'll see. We'll see how things pan out. And you know what? For gosh sakes, if we don't finish the game, it's not like we gotta feel bad about it anyways.
Yeah.
You know?
But it'll feel good. We will feel good about it.
Oh man, I really messed this up. You know?
Yeah.
Like why is that?
But I think it will feel really good to finish.
A feeling that we should have to deal with.
We shouldn't feel bad, but we should feel good when we do it.
Thanks, Kaylee Gamer, for we pulled together at the end a little bit, and I hope you have a great Christmas and New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
There was $10 from Beastly Panda.
Oh,
Beastly. Thank you. Saying, how do you guys deal with returning to unfinished RPGs after long periods of time? I always feel I need to start a new game if it's been too long, which keeps my backlog from shrinking. So, yes, you'd start over if it's been too long, but my suggestion is to, like, don't give up on them after, like, halfway through or something like that. Like, make it a priority. Like, say, you know what, like, in this case, like, if I'm starting this, like, I'm going to see it through.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've known people who are like, oh, well, you know, I started playing this game, 15 years ago, and I'm like, I'm not throwing away the time that I put into it. And to me, like, I'm just like, I could never get back into that game from that state.
Yeah.
It would just never
at
happen.
That point, if you're not gonna start it over, it's been 15 years and you're not gonna start it over. It's like,
I mean, I might be
exaggerating,
exaggerating, but yeah, I mean, I would definitely start over because you just lose the context of the story. The thing, though, even more so than like what was happening in the story, especially if it's an RPG where you like customize the character, you're like learning, customizing like what skills they learn and stuff like that. Like I may have been like really into like, oh, I'm going to learn, this ability, and then I'm going to combine it with that ability, and you're like, yeah, that's what I want to do with this character, and like I'm like really into it, and then the game just falls on the back burner unintentionally for whatever reason, and then I find that if I like pick up the game again, even if it's like not that long, like a month or two, like I feel like I have like completely lost the enthusiasm for like my character build that I had. And I just like, I don't care about like the RPG gameplay aspect of it anymore. And that's always like a bummer when that happens. So, I mean, there's like twofold reasons. It's the story and also the building part. That kind of gets lost for me. Whoa, this is like some Mario Galaxy 2 crap. Whoa,
Wow. Oh, you gotta.
like remember the levels with like Yoshi like running up walls?
Oh yeah, that's kind of neat. I like this. Oh, but you can keep going if you land.
Oh, but I'm out of fuel.
Or does the fuel keep on going down even if you're not hitting the gas?
Huh?
Does the fuel go down even if you're not hitting the gas?
I mean, probably not, but you gotta keep your momentum going most of the time. Oh! Ah!
Yeah, I like if you're coming back to an RPG and you don't remember what's happening, I guess you could always like look up like a walkthrough or something like that and kind of skim it.
It's real. For me, it's real hard to get that motivation back though.
Right, which is why like I mean, if I'm playing an RPG, like I'm committing to be like I'm going to play this.
Although when you played Yakuza Like a Dragon, you initially you initially like weren't really feeling it, and I feel like you kind of like took a long break from it, and then you like
it wasn't like a long break. I feel like it may have been like a month maybe.
Yeah, well, it was the same thing with.
But I also wasn't very far into it.
Yeah, well, it was also the same thing with Nier Automata, wasn't it?
But when I came back to that, I started a new game. I didn't continue the game that I had from before. I started fresh.
I thought you continued like getting new endings from.
No.
Ending A.
I started over completely.
Okay.
But yeah, Zane's says I tend to play more than one game at a time, but never more than one RPG at a time. Yes, I mean I would never play more than one RPG at a time. It's okay to play an RPG, but like sprinkle in like other types of games. But if you're playing more than one RPG at a time, like you're gonna get, like I would always get things confused, or I would forget about certain things. Like it's just not a good way to deal with it. I think.
I mean, I definitely had an extended break from Lunar, but I didn't have a difficult time getting back to it. In fact, I was like, for a little bit there, I was feeling more into it than I had been. But then...
Is that a Scarface poster?
Oh, yeah. Those appear throughout. It says Carface.
Oh.
Yeah, those have appeared several times. But yeah, like I actually had a pretty easy time slipping back into Lunar, even though it'd been, you know, probably a couple of months, really. But then, like, this the reality of the dungeon crawling kind of started making my enthusiasm dry up again.
Yeah, but like I said, I think that a part of it, though, is also now you're feeling this pressure. I got to finish it before the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely
And it's like
part
making certain things annoy you than they normally would.
Well, it's entirely possible. Whoa.
I mean, depending on when I finish Alan Wake 2, then I will, I'll probably play Undertale, like, as the last thing. But at the same time, I'm kind of realizing, like, oh, I would like to have the end of the year video finished before I probably will finish Alan Wake. So, I mean, what I'll probably just save that for next year.
Mm. I just realized that the vocals in this song are saying, "You suck." It's like got like a very like Final Fantasy 13 kind of vibe to the spacey airiness of the vocals.
That's
So
funny.
imagine that. That's the only part of what she's saying that I can parse, though. It's
Yeah.
like, you suck at
But yeah, I'm assuming that I still have a ways to go in Alan Wake. And the chance, like, I'd rather just like enjoy it and not feel like I gotta rush through this so I can finish it so I can put it in the video. Like, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? That's just like, that seems like a stupid idea.
Absolutely.
I'll just put it in next year's video.
But still, I really do want to finish Lunar.
Yeah.
Because if I don't, then I won't have even done half of my games. I mean, that's not the only reason, but...
And especially since, you know, Alan Wake is very good so far. And I feel like rushing through it would be a disservice to the effort. I'm like really making a point to read all the little things.
Manuscripts? Are
And
those
the,
back?
like, the little,
are they
like-
back?
Like the emails maybe on computers and stuff like that, because, you know, like I'm like really looking for like little hint drops.
Well, I mean, that's how the first game is. Like, all the manuscripts like kind of foreshadow things that, you know, are going to happen.
Yeah, well, I'm more into the FBC name drops.
Oh yeah. Well, will that do it for our streams for the year?
I think that'll do it for the stream.
Did you?
Unless like we somehow work out some sort of bonus stream on a non-typical night.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're not.
I would say the chances of that are somewhat slim because we're probably going to be. I feel like I'm going to be pretty busy finishing the video. But we'll see.
Yeah, and not only that, but you know, like we should just take this opportunity to like recharge our batteries.
Yeah. Exactly. Cool decision.
2 last-minute anniversaries. You know. Cool. For 21 months saying Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and James Boone's been a member for 28 months. saying have a
Nice.
happy holiday, folks. I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season, rest of the season, and a happy new year. T Soul has been a member for 11 months, saying have a great holiday break. Look for that year-end video on its typical day, and I'll see if I can. The Synology thing might happen this year. Like I'm gonna try to make it happen, but that's not like a typical release from it. It's more of a casual.
And very like it. We would
I'd prefer to
probably
go
prefer to
same
release
time or
release it
close
in
to
January, honestly.
Yeah, it depends on what they're okay with. But anyways, I hope everyone has a wonderful holiday and a wonderful New Year's. Thank you to everybody who donated tonight, and thanks for like such a great year and being so supportive on the channel, despite the less than optimal amount of content. But things are gonna be.
Yeah, I think we got things pretty figured out again, though. So.
Heck yeah. Anyways, good night, everybody, and take care.
Good night.